Imagine a city burning so fiercely that the Volga River reflects flames for miles. Bodies float downstream. Every building is a battlefield. And in the heart of this hell, one ruined apartment block refuses to fall. A 24-year-old sergeant named Yakov Pavlov and just 25 men from 11 different nations turn it into a fortress that the entire German army cannot break. For 58 brutal days, they fight off tanks, Stuka dive bombers, and thousands of troops, inflicting losses so devastating the Nazis later admit this one house cost them more men than capturing Paris. This is not an exaggeration. This is the raw, documented truth of Pavlov's house. But how did one man and a handful of soldiers defy an entire division? What secrets were hidden inside those crumbling walls? Stay with me, because this story goes deeper than you've ever heard. But what if I told you this house wasn't just a building? It was a symbol that shattered the Wehrmacht's confidence. The Germans called it Festung Pavlov, Pavlov's fortress, and threw everything they had at it, and still failed. Let's go back to September 1942 and see how it all began. Stalingrad, September 1942. Hitler has ordered the complete destruction of the city named after Stalin. General Paulus's 6th Army, 330,000 men strong, smashes through the Volga's west bank. On the other side, General Chuikov's 62nd Army is down to its last 50,000 men, fighting with bayonets in sewers and factories. The average lifespan for a Soviet soldier here is just 24 hours. On September 26th, Yakov Pavlov, a simple reconnaissance sergeant from a collective farm, leads his platoon towards a 4-story apartment block at 61 Penzinskaya Street. It overlooks the 9th of January Square, a vital crossroads leading to the Volga ferries, the city's last lifeline. The building is already bombed out, a skeleton of its former self, but its position is perfect for defense. The initial assault is a bloodbath. Germans hold the upper floors with machine guns. Pavlov's men fight room by room, stair by stair, with grenades, submachine guns, and brutal hand-to-hand combat. Blood soaks every wall. By the end of the first day, only 4 men from Pavlov's original platoon survive: Pavlov himself, Afanasyev, Glashenko, and Alexandrov. Pavlov radios General Chuikov with a simple, defiant message: building taken, holding. Reinforcements arrive overnight, slipping through the darkness. Sappers, machine gunners, anti-tank teams. The final garrison numbers just 25 defenders. And these men are a microcosm of the Soviet Union itself, representing 11 different nationalities: Russians, Ukrainians, Georgians, Kazakhs, Uzbeks, Tajiks, Tatars, Jews, Kalmyks, Mordvins, and Armenians, united by one purpose: hold this house or die. But capturing the house was easy compared to holding it. The Germans soon realized this worthless ruin was their worst nightmare. What happened next would make history. Pavlov wasted no time. The moment they secured the building, the real work began. Sappers crawled out into the square, under constant sniper fire, planting TM-35 anti-tank mines and PMD-6 anti-personnel mines, creating a deadly, invisible web. They wrapped the building in barbed wire, blocking every door and window on the ground floor. Inside, it became a layered fortress. On the upper floors, they positioned Maxim machine guns with 250-round belts, ready to scythe down infantry in the square. In the rubble-strewn basement and ground floor, they set up PTRD-41 anti-tank rifles. These powerful 14.5mm weapons could punch through 40mm of armor, enough to cripple a panzer's tracks or penetrate its weaker side armor. Snipers took up positions in the attics, turning the German-held territory into a killing field. Communication was life. Under the cover of constant explosions and darkness, the men dug a supply trench, a narrow ditch snaking 300 meters back to Chuikov's command post. This trench was their umbilical cord, for ammunition, for meager rations, and for evacuating the wounded. And they were not alone. Trapped inside were for civilian women, including Alexandra Cherkasova and her infant child. They became the heart of the defense, acting as nurses, cooks, and ammo carriers. They risked their lives to boil water fetched from shell craters, water often contaminated with oil and the filth of battle. Pavlov ensured everyone shared what little they had, 30 grams of bread per day, and if they were lucky, some horse meat scavenged from the battlefield. The Germans threw divisions at Stalingrad, but this one house became their obsession. Why couldn't they take it? The daily assaults began on September 28th. Stuka dive bombers screamed down from the sky, dropping 500-kilogram bombs that shook the very foundations of the building. But the reinforced brick walls held. German 88mm guns chipped away at the facade, brick by brick, but could not bring it down. Panzer tanks charged across the square, only to have their tracks blown off by mines or crippled by the anti-tank rifles. The snipers would then pick off the crews as they tried to escape their disabled machines. On October 2nd, the Germans sent an entire battalion, supported by 10 tanks, to finally crush this pocket of resistance. The attack was a disaster for them. Mines detonated, disabling the lead panzers and creating a wall of burning steel. As German infantry advanced behind them, Pavlov's machine guns opened up from the windows, and the attack withered under the crossfire. On October 15th, they tried a night raid with flamethrowers, hoping to burn the defenders out. But from the rooftops, Pavlov's men hurled Molotov cocktails, turning the German assault teams into human torches. The fighting spilled into the basements, a desperate struggle in the dark with knives, bayonets, and even sharpened shovels. On November 5th, a blizzard blanketed the city. The Germans used the swirling snow and smoke for cover, but the defenders were ready, repelling them with the storm of grenades. The snipers were relentless. A man named Chuikov, claimed over 40 kills from his perch. In the chaos, a Cossack defender shielded a Jewish comrade from a grenade with his own body. The women risked everything, running ammunition to the firing positions under a hail of bullets. Alexandra Cherkasova would later be awarded the Order of the Red Star for her bravery. In 58 days of constant battle, only 3 defenders were killed in action. The rest were wounded and evacuated through the trench, but the Germans, they lost hundreds, possibly over 500 men, in direct assaults on the house, and thousands more were diverted to contain it. Chuikov later boasted, "The Germans lost more men trying to take Pavlov's house than they did taking Paris." In 1940, the capture of Paris had cost the German army only 48 men. This one house was bleeding them dry. This house wasn't just defended. It became a legend that broke the German spirit and bled the Nazis dry. On November 19th, the tide of the war turned. Operation Uranus, the great Soviet counteroffensive, was launched, encircling the entire German Sixth Army. The siege of Stalingrad was about to become the entrapment of Stalingrad. On November 25th, the pressure finally lifted, and Pavlov and his surviving men were relieved. The house still stood, a battered but defiant monument against the skyline. After the war, a plaque was placed on its rebuilt wall. Yakov Pavlov was declared a hero of the Soviet Union in 1945 and lived until 1981, forever the man who held the house. Historians like Antony Beevor argue that while the direct losses were high, the real impact of Pavlov's house was the immense diversion of German strength and morale. It became the ultimate symbol of Stalingrad's resistance, proof that ordinary men, fueled by sheer courage, could break an empire. From one sergeant's defiance came an empire's fall. In the frozen ruins of Stalingrad, courage outlasted steel, and a handful of heroes showed the world what it means to never surrender. Pavlov's house is more than a story of war. It's a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. If this story gripped you, please like, share, and subscribe to Echoes of War for more deep dives into history's most incredible battles. Next up, we're heading to the colossal tank battle of Kursk. Let me know in the comments who your favorite hero from this story was. Thanks for watching.